There's my dad and me, and then as you can see, those are my two brothers over there. One is 2 and the other one is 7. Who wouldn't love my story? Because I've got a loving mom, a loving dad, and I'm secure with safety, and my brothers are in a safe place that I know if I leave them in the next 2 or 3 years, they'll still be there safe. Sadly, other people don't have my story. It's a typical African story, not for other parents. As you can see over there, that there's people in the morning rushing off to work, and that's polluting the air. Because that many cars, if we could improve our transport system in South Africa, then there wouldn't be a problem. People would be up and running in the morning, not having to pollute the air. But then you get these places where there's only one form of transportation that goes in and out every day. As you can see, that the sand is crumbly, there's barely any trees there. But what we have here, there's lots of trees, lots of beautiful flowers. But then what you find there is that there's like one tree there. But people don't care about the trees. They just want food. Like if they don't have food, then they don't know where their next meal is coming from, and they won't worry about what's going on in this earth. This is their story. You can see that there's children in the first picture. There's children at school outside, and then in this picture you can't see very clearly. The second picture, it's about 30 children in one tiny van, and that's their form of transportation in and out of school. And the third picture is that's one classroom. We children have beautiful classrooms with pictures and everything, but they don't have anything. There's barely windows. It's not even a practical school thing. Why do I want to share? It is the right thing to do. Everyone deserves my story. We're in Africa, and like people from different countries come in and they take our Africa, but people from Africa have to live in the rural areas where there's nothing left for them. Africa is big enough and rich enough for all of us to share. I mean, Africa is so big that, as you heard from the first story, 800 million people can live here. And if the people from other countries come here, then what's the point of us living here? My future depends on what you and I do to sustain our Africa. If we don't sustain our Africa, then there won't be any Africa left. My little brother has been affected by pollution. He's only 2 and he's asthmatic. He's been in hospital more than 3 times and he's only 2 years old. I want him to live long enough to tell his story. I want people to know that when he was 2, he ran around like a little monkey, screaming and shouting, biting us all day. Like me, I want him to learn what it means to be an African. I want him to know where he's come from, what family he comes from, and what type of African he is. That he's not American, he's not from Switzerland, he's African. What have I done to share my story? I value and respect other people as well as the environment. But in our school, we always, if you are caught littering, you have break detention. I mean, it's a big deal for our school. If you litter, there's barely any litter. If there's litter at school, it's like one piece of paper. I do not throw away my clothes, food, or toys. I give them away to those who need. Our family does a charity drive there's this little girl named Tara and her family. We give our clothes to them, my old tiny clothes, I give them to her and her sisters and her family because I don't need those clothes anymore. Why hold on to them if you can give? I belong to a school with an eco and garden club. At school, we've already started planting seeds and they've already grown and we're already feeding a family that stays at our school. I do not litter and make sure my brothers do not either. That's a hard job. Well, it starts like this. Kwame, pick up the paper. No, you don't tell me what to do. And then he goes, tells my mom, and it's like, Noma's trying to be the boss of me, and then my mom's like, I am the boss of you, pick up the paper. I help my parents in their charity work instead of sulking and being bratty. Like I said, we help Tyra. They live in a house and they have to cook on the floor while we have stoves and everything. When we eat, we don't think twice about those people that live out there. I'm sure sometimes you think, okay, what are they eating right now? But then the next day you'd be like, ah, this is a wonderful meal, why not enjoy it? I read and ask a lot because I want to know how I can help sustain our Africa. If I don't help sustain our Africa, then in 20, 32 years come, then children will be asking, Mom, what's a flower? And what we've seen today, then they won't know tomorrow. I support my school's charity drive and fight against hunger surrounding communities and school. At our school, every Friday, a class has to bring bread, jam, or peanut butter for the other schools that surround us and communities, and we go. But sometimes we take it further and we find it toiletries. How can you help me share my story? Teach us to respect ourselves and others and nature. If we don't respect ourselves, nature, and others, then why are we supposed to be here? If you can't sit in a room with a person with different colored skin, then what's the point of living? Because they're the same person, just different colored skin. Educates us about culture. Now, people think, okay, just like there's Americans and then there's Africans. Okay, this child comes to school, oh, I want to be an American, but then you're actually from Africa. You need to know what you are and where you come from and stick to that root. Teach us the value of hard work and morals. My mom always tells me, don't do this, don't do that, and she knows better, so I should listen to her. Teach the value of family friendship instead of things. I mean, you can have everything in the world, but without family and friends, you have nothing, literally nothing. Teach us Ubuntu by example and avoid greed and selfishness in front of us. If you're selfish, if you're selfish to your neighbor or something, all the time we children are watching, and sometimes we even copy you and do the same at school, and that's not right. Teach us to share. My little brothers hate to share. It's my food, leave it alone. But we need to know that you need to share, because some place there's someone with nothing. They're just sitting there in the cold with nothing. Feed us proper food so we can avoid toxic medication. As you know that we don't know what happens to the food we eat. Like, you can grow a garden yourself and you can eat from that garden, but we don't know if the food is GM'd or anything. Like food from KFC, you don't know what they feed those chickens. Teach us to plant a tree and a veggie garden. You can plant a veggie garden, a mobile garden at home, and then you can eat from that, and it's easy to plant a veggie garden. Do not let gadgets parent us. They won't teach us wisdom, and besides, we are smarter than them. You can have a computer, but if you actually use your brain, then I'm sure you know much more than a gadget. Like my brother always sits on his PSP. Oh, no, I check this level, I'm not on level 19. Why, do you know where 19 stands? Between 17 and 30 something? Do not let others go without when you can help. We learn from you. You don't let others go without food, shelter. I mean, food and shelter is the most important thing in the world. If you don't have that, then like you'd be sitting on the streets, and you wouldn't like that to be you. We've all got houses. Together we can make my story an African story. If we all work together, we can help people live the life that I'm living with my wonderful family. Did you know each minute 27,869 tons of carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere? 4 hectares of forest are lost and 8 tons of toxic chemicals are released. So if we lose all that beautiful forest and trees, then chemicals are released into the air. Recycling 1 ton of paper saves 17 trees, 2 barrels of oil, and 3,2 landfill yards. This one boy named Kane in our class asked, "Why do we need to save paper and trees if they have books? Why do we need to do that?" And then my teacher goes, "Well, you need to read, Kane." And then he goes, "But why? Books are made of paper. Don't we need to save trees?" Fast-growing trees take 7 years to grow. A normal growing tree takes more than 300 years to grow. But so if you cut down a tree and you plant a fast-growing tree, then it will take 7 years to grow. By the time it's grown, my brother will be 14. Did you know overpopulation is one of Africa's biggest issues? People think because, if I give birth to many children, then they'll be able to look after me when in my old age. But then all that it's crowding the area, and there won't be space for our Africans to live, not the foreigners. Like they can come for holiday. They can come for holiday, but then they must also remember that this is our Africa. Majority of Africans are homeless in Africa, and they do not know where their next meal is coming from. I mean, you can sit there with this big batch of McDonald's, and on the streets is someone with no food. Unemployment and poverty, illiteracy are the biggest contributors to the destruction of Africa. Meaning, unemployed people do not have any money, and you're sitting here with your millions and your thousands, and they don't even have 1 rand. 1 in every 5 children suffers from a chronic disease and allergies caused by pollution, toxins in the food environment, and medication. As I said, my brother is affected with asthma, and he's only 2, and I've got chest infection. South Africa is very close to being out of natural drinking water. We waste water. We think, okay, then water's going to come from the river, and then they're going to clean it, and then we have water. But all that water is running out. If we don't turn things around, my generation won't live to see 40. I'm sure some of you guys are 40 here. And I'm joking, you look 23. Yeah. If some of my generation, if we carry on like this, I won't even live to see 40. I'm 11, and in years to come, then there won't be a me left or other people. My little brother might never know what a rhino is. People are coming into Africa, South Africa, killing our rhinos. They're poaching it, and people don't think twice about it. They think, okay, if I kill a rhino, I get money, and that's it, and then I can go and feed my family. Then if they don't think, okay, this poor rhino, it's not gonna live. They just want money for the horn because it's made of hair, and that makes really good material for medicine and all sorts of things. And in the future, there won't be a big 5, there'll be a big 4. It is all up to me and you. Well, it's a big job sustaining our Africa, and if we all put into the work, then we can all help to make Africa live longer. Help me share my story, that way another Africa is still possible. Remember, education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today, by Malcolm X. If we don't prepare for our future today, then there's no future for us tomorrow. I mean, I'm just 11. I'm leaving it to all you old people to decide about it.
Noma, everybody.